Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'll be working on my introductory pages for my December daily album. I usually do just a little layout with, the family, where we're at, and I really wanted to use this December daily 2024 die cut as a pocket in the front of my album. And so I decided the best way that to show the family was to use these frames that I pulled out of the scrapbook kit from earlier this year. I thought with all the fun colors in this year's collection that it would be really fun, and the pinks and the greens would be a nice little twist to it. So I started things off with a layered embossing powder and Nuvo Dots, glitter, stencils, all sorts of things on that die cut, and I'll show you that a bit more later. And I sized my photos down to 2 by 2 inches, and so I am just gluing those in place along with the journaling, which is also 2 by 2 inches. And so once I do that, I just leave it to dry. I'm using tacky glue for this. Everybody has their preference in adhesive, so whatever works best for you. But my idea here is to use some transparent bits and pieces, add in a shaker or so in each strip, and then continue working on these just to get a bit of things happening. So I continue on to do this for each strip. This one is for my son. I'm being careful to kind of mix it up a bit, so not adding each photo to like the second square and each bit of journaling to the third square, but I'm trying to get a bit of mix and matching happening. I'm leaving the top square empty, and then just tuning those around the way I see fit. I'm also making sure there isn't much liquid glue left over on the edges, and I leave them turned over until they dry because there is a bit of glue on either side of on the back side of the frames. So just working through these, going through to my third one and then my fourth one, and then I'll come back and show you how I have put them all together. All right, so these are the four, and I've decided that I want to use the scallop tags for one of the empty squares in each of the strips. So I've pulled out a few of those scallop squares, and just the ones that I think match the strip or the sentiments or journaling that I have in each strip, and then I am going through and gluing those in place around the edges. And so I am adding a 2 by 2 piece of acetate to the other blank spot, and these would be some, I guess, transparent pieces in the strips. So I am adding that in again using tacky glue and just giving them ample time to dry. And so I am going to continue and do this for the next 3 strips, and just add in the acetate and add in the scallop squares, just to the empty spaces that do not have photos or journaling. So I continue to cut down the square pieces just 2 by 2. It works well because the transparent or the piece of acetate is 8.5 inches, so I get exactly the 4 that I need from the first strip. And then at this point I'm not sure whether I am going to make it into a shaker or just a transparent element that I could add vellum behind, or a sticker on the clear spot so it looks like it's floating, that kind of thing. I mean, there's so many options, and so I'm just working through that as I go along. So I decide that I do want to do a shaker in the parts, the clear parts that are remaining, and so I pick out some of my sequins from my stash. These are some flat confetti that I really love, and then I am adding in an extra 2x2 piece behind it to keep that all together. And then after that, I'm going to secure it a bit more. So I have those, then I'm looking at the, just the way the mix is to see if it's going to work well for that particular strip, and so I continue on that way. I have these lovely ones that I like from Diary of Belle Rose and from this year's Christmas collection, and I felt like that worked well for the green. And then I'm also going through my stash to pull out some other greenish hued ones that I would like to use for this layout. Because this strip will be, a lot of green tones in there. So pulling those out and just kind of customizing it a bit to match with my strip. And then I have this other Christmassy one that I bought recently, and I am just going to pull out some of the darker green bits from it, just to get the full range of greens coming through here. And so once that's done, I can go ahead and put it all together. So cutting it down 2x2, bit by bit, adding some more tacky glue, and then working through the next two strips as I go along, and leaving these to dry in the interim. I just went around and I sewed the shaker bits together, and I'm adding this last bit of vellum to the top. I had to pull it out of my stash because I didn't have any other pieces that I could use in my desk, and so this is just a pink Disney princess one with some white glitter stars on it, and I love how these four look. So now I'm going to go in and embellish. So I'm just going through and kind of seeing if I like the concept still, and I pull out my album to put it in place. I'm just going to glue it. So I'm going to show a bit more here what I have done on each layer. So my idea for this die cut was to have each layer be a different pattern, and probably do some tone on tone kind of impact, but also incorporate some of the fun and colors that are in this year's collection, like the pink and the blues and the yellows. So I have this pinkish embossing powder. And then I added in some pink glitter dots on top of it. I had this red glitter embossing powder. Then I used a kind of greenish and yellowish one for this, and a star stencil with gold texture paste, and I covered over again with embossing powder. For the blue, I did a turquoise glitter, and for the last one I did a green silk screen and added in some glitter as well. So there's quite a bit happening there. I worked in it over the past month or more, just kind of ruminating over the idea and whether I liked how it would look. And so every few days I'd add a layer and just kind of leave it to dry and kind of feel it out and continue doing that. So this is what it looked like in the end. I was contemplating just adding some more things, but I figured I would just leave it as is for now. And I'm just gently adhering it down to my album. It is a paper on paper adhering situation, so I do feel quite confident that the tacky glue would hold it in place because it's not too plasticky. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm just pressing it down. I'd let the glue dry a little bit after I had put it on, and so I will leave that to dry while I go ahead and embellish the rest of the strips and all the other blank areas. So now I'm working through the embellishments. I went through my stash and pulled out things from previous years, things from current year, stickers from that I've had for a long time from the December Daily collection, and I'm just pulling them all together based on the colors that I'm using. This is from like a very old December Daily and Brandy Cancade kids kit, that Love My Family one, but these hearts were from this year's collection. And so I'm just going through and seeing how I feel about each one and adding bits and pieces. I do store my stickers in one box, that one of the boxes from the past few years. So I have all the chipboard stickers, puffy stickers, flat stickers together. So what happens is when I need to embellish, I will pull out this box and just kind of go through what I want to use. In this situation, I just wanted to use flat stickers. So I'm really using the flat stickers, at most the puffy stickers, but not the chipboard for these pieces because they are going to tuck in quite, quite snugly to this pocket on the front. So just going through, feeling it out, remembering what I have. It's a good way to bust stash. And then, yeah, once I feel comfortable with this, then I could put them all together and put them all away in the pockets. So I'm glad that I'm able to use, like these clear ones, which are really pretty from last year. I'm contemplating using that Let Your Heart Be Light, but it's a bit too big. And so I'm just going through and having a play and enjoying the process because I am nearing the end of it all. So once I bring these all together, I can just feel good knowing that this is the introductory things that are done right now, and I can tuck them back into my album. So playing with these little stars, I mean, these are just cute things, pull out your stash and use what you have, and then, yeah, bring it all together in your album. So thank you so much for being here with me. I hope that you are enjoying the season. It's only the second day right now, depending on which side of the world you're in. It might still be the first day. And now I'm just gonna tuck these neatly into my pocket and kind of make sure that you could see the pictures and some of the journaling peeking through behind the cutout. So that's something that I really love doing. And once I have these in, this is, what my final layout is going to look like, and it goes neatly in the front of this album. So thanks so much for being here. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to message me below. See you. Bye.